Hi, first grade. Today we're going to read the story Alligators and Crocodiles. I don't have the book, so today we're going to watch it on YouTube, but we're going to watch it together because I want to do our comprehension strategy together. Before we start, I want us to think about alligators and crocodiles. Can you think of some things that you already know about them? Turn and talk and share with someone some of the things you already know. Are they the same or are they different? Think about what you might know about them and look at that cover and see, what do you notice about the two animals and how they look similar or different? I want you to notice on the cover that we have illustrations. And normally when we have illustrations, we think of fiction books, but today's story is actually going to be a nonfiction story. We're going to learn a lot of facts about alligators and crocodiles. So when we're reading the story today, we want to be thinking about those facts that we're learning. Our comprehension strategy today is going to be figuring out hard words. So when we look at our anchor chart, it says that strong readers use a lot of strategies to help them figure out unknown words in nonfiction texts. So if we look at our strategies that we can use, when we're trying to figure out a word and we don't know it, we could look at the pictures. We could look at words you might already know and try to use those words to help you figure out a word you don't know. We could use helping words like the words or, like, or are called. So when we hear those helping words that help us understand the definition, we can use that. We could use examples or definitions that we see in our story. And we could use synonyms or antonyms, so words that mean the same or words that mean different, to help us understand words that we might not know right away. So today we're going to look at some words. So when we're listening to the story, Miss Murphy might pause it to talk about that word. Our words are going to be inhabited, climate, carnivores, and nocturnal. Now, you might already know a word or two, and that's okay, but we're going to look at how we can use the text and the words or pictures to help us understand it a little bit better, okay? I'm going to stop at different parts in the story, and I might have you turn and talk, or we might look at a word and try to decide what it means using some of those strategies, okay?
Alligators and crocodiles. Something glides slowly through the water, barely making a ripple. It is well hidden and looks like a bumpy, drifting log. Two eyes and a snout appear above the water. It is an alligator or a crocodile. Alligators and crocodiles are members of a group of reptiles called crocodilians. They are the closest living relatives of dinosaurs and the world's largest reptiles. According to paleontologists, alligators, crocodiles, and dinosaurs lived on Earth about 230 million years ago. About 65 million years ago, dinosaurs became extinct, but alligators and crocodiles continued to live.
They told us that alligators and crocodiles are both part of the reptile family. I want you to turn and talk and think about what that means. What does that mean compared to animals that might be mammals or birds? What does a reptile mean? How could you describe a reptile?
The word crocodile comes from the word crocodilos, which means lizard in Greek. The word alligator comes from el lagarto, which means the lizard in Spanish. Where alligators and crocodiles live. There are 2 different kinds of alligators and 14 different kinds of crocodiles. The only area inhabited by both alligators and crocodiles is the southern tip of Florida and the Florida Keys.
Notice that we heard our first word, inhabited. So when we listen, they talk about where crocodiles and alligators inhabited. So I notice when I'm using my strategies that I could look at the pictures, and I see that the pictures have a map. So if I'm looking at a map, I must be thinking inhabited is talking about an area. I could also use the heading. So remember that heading at the top where we talked about where alligators and crocodiles live. So in using those words, I can help to understand that inhabited must mean that that's where they live in some way, and that's where they stay. All right, let's keep listening and we'll stop at climate.
Where American alligators and crocodiles live in the United States. Alligators and crocodiles usually live in climates where the water and air temperature are warm all year long.
I heard that word climate. And this time when I heard climate, I'm going to use that sentence to help me. They live where climates are warm. I know that warm means that it's talking about temperature or how it feels outside. So, in using my strategies, I've used those words that I know, like warm and temperature, to help me understand that climate must mean the temperature of that area or what it feels like in that area. All right, we're going to keep listening and we're going to stop when we hear carnivores. So see if you can listen for carnivores.
Some alligators live in cooler climates where they must hibernate if it gets too cold. In red is where alligators live, and in blue is where alligators and crocodiles live. The difference between an American alligator. It has ear slits, it has a wide rounded snout, sensory pits on head only. The head, back, and tail are dark gray or black, 4 webbed toes on each back foot. Only top teeth can be seen when jaws are closed. And in American crocodile, the teeth are upper and lower teeth can be seen when jaws are closed. It is a greenish gray, the head, back, and tail. They have 5 webbed toes on each front foot and 4 webbed toes on each back foot. So this is a alligator, this is a crocodile.
Notice how the pictures helped you to see the differences in those animals. Notice that we can tell the difference between the crocodile and the alligator through using pictures, they had labels, and they had descriptions. So when we're looking at nonfiction, we notice those elements in there that help us to understand a little bit better how the alligators and crocodiles are the same or different. Can you turn and talk about one thing you noticed that was different between the alligator and the crocodile? I want you to turn and talk. We're going to keep listening for those hard words. So remember, we're listening for carnivores. We haven't gotten there yet.
Alligators and crocodiles are carnivores. To catch their prey, they must stay perfectly still. When an animal comes near, snap! The animal is grabbed in a split second. Alligators and crocodiles may also swim slowly and quietly to their unaware prey and attack.
I heard the word carnivores, and I wanted to listen a little bit longer because I wanted to use the words in the text to understand what a carnivore is. I noticed that they said carnivores, and then they talked about the alligator creeping up on their prey. I also heard them say that they eat the animal. So in using the words in the text, I'm able to understand that a carnivore must eat animals. So in understanding that, I understand that alligators and crocodiles are carnivores, meaning that they eat animals. All right, we're gonna listen for our last one, nocturnal. And we're gonna finish our story and kind of turn and talk a little bit about different things too.
Alligators and crocodiles usually feed on small prey, such as fish, frogs, and birds, using their powerful jaws and sharp teeth. Larger, older alligators and crocodiles may eat big animals, such as raccoons and deer. Often they grab their prey and hold its nose underwater until the animal drowns. Also, they may leap to catch their prey. They eat by ripping the animals apart and swallowing the pieces whole. Alligators and crocodiles are good swimmers and spend most of their time in the water. They use their powerful swishing tails to move forward. They are able to steer using their tails and back legs. By tucking in all four legs, they are able to swim faster. They can crawl, walk, and run on land, and sometimes they walk with their bodies high off the ground. This is called the high walk. Alligators and crocodiles are nocturnal. They see well in the dark. They also see far away very well.
I heard that word nocturnal. And for this one, I use the strategy of looking at the picture because when I look at that page and they talk about nocturnal, I notice that the alligators and crocodiles are awake in the water, but I see the moon out and I see a dark sky. So I am going to say that nocturnal must mean that they're awake at night. Can you think of some other animals that are nocturnal that we've learned about? Turn and talk about some other animals that you remember that are nocturnal. As we keep listening to the story, I want you to really listen to how the alligators and crocodiles are the same or different, okay? So keep your ears out for that. Also, see if you can listen for some words you're not sure about and use a strategy to figure it out.
Cannot see well underwater. Crocodiles and alligators have excellent senses of smell. They also have excellent senses of hearing. They are able to pick up vibrations in the air or water using their ears as well as their shallow nerves on top of their heads. Sensory pits on their bodies also help detect vibrations in the water. Vibrations alert them to stay nearby or alert for prey. The thick, bony plates of American alligators and American crocodiles help protect them. Alligators and crocodiles can make roaring, grumbling, and hissing sounds when they are protecting their territory. They will puff out their necks to show that they are ready to fight. During mating season, males and females communicate by making grunts, barks, and low rumbling sounds. Often they rub snouts, blow bubbles on the water surface, and swim together in circles. Sometimes they will make sounds by slapping the surface of the water to attract a mate. They mate underwater. A few weeks later, the females will lay their eggs in nests where the eggs will be kept warm and protected. Other alligators and crocodiles are always on the alert, guarding their nests to protect their young from any egg-eating animals such as skunks and raccoons. Here is the American alligator, where she's hiding it in her mound, in her nest, and then here is the American crocodile. A group of eggs is called a clutch.
Notice that they lay eggs. If you remember, reptiles will lay eggs and not have live babies. So that's one of those things that we learned about when we think about reptiles.
Usually it takes about 65 days before the alligator and crocodile eggs begin to hatch. Newborns are called hatchlings. Most hatchlings are about 10 inches long. Within minutes of hatching, their mother takes them to the water. The female alligator and crocodile stay close to their young for about a year. They protect them from harm before the young ones go off on their own. Young alligators and crocodiles grow about 1 foot a year from the first 6 years. As they get older, they grow slower. They continue to grow throughout their lives. Alligators and crocodiles use their strong legs, feet, and tail to dig holes in muddy marshlands. The holes fill with water. Other wildlife living nearby will also make use of these water holes. American alligators and American crocodiles are hunted for hundreds of years for their meat and skins. Today it is illegal to hunt them, but humans are still their main enemy. People have developed areas with these large reptiles where they once lived. There are fewer and fewer places where alligators and crocodiles can live in their natural environment. Wildlife preserves have been created to protect them. Alligators and crocodiles have been around for millions of years. Now they are endangered. The lives of these fascinating creatures should be respected.
I heard a word that wasn't in our list, but it's a bigger word that I might not have known what it meant. It said that crocodiles and alligators are endangered. I want you to think about using a skill and turn and talk about what you think endangered meant from the sentence and think about what we were talking about and what it might mean if the alligators and crocodiles are endangered. Okay, first grade. Great job listening. Great job listening for those words. Now, today, you're going to do your own little activity where you're going to try and figure out what a word means. So, today we're going to try and figure out some unknown words. So, you are going to use, sorry, friends, going to try and make this a little easier for you to see. Um, you're going to try and figure out your own unknown word. So the sentence says, alligators and crocodiles have webbed toes. They want you to figure out what the word webbed means. So on a piece of paper, you're going to tell me two things. First, you're going to tell me what it means. What does webbed mean? And then you're going to tell me how you know what webbed means. Now, you can use your own knowledge. You might already know what webbed means, but how did you know that? What do you think of when you think of webbed? Do you use another word? Do you think about a picture that means webbed? So I want you to write a sentence about what webbed means and how you know what webbed means. Okay? I hope you guys have a great day and keep up the great work.